The Buffalo Bills just proved that they cannot be stopped. Bills Mafia, the NFL has a massive problem, and that massive problem is coming right out of Western New York. You guessed it. It's coming right out of Orchard Park, and it's the Buffalo Bills. You know, there's a lot of teams in the NFL, of course, 32 of them. And of those 32 teams, they all have strengths and weaknesses. A lot of them have maybe a good offense or a bad defense. Some of them have a great passing game, but a bad running game. But you know what the Buffalo Bills have that cannot be stopped? It's a passing game and a running game that combines at an elite level. Our offensive line, our running back, our quarterback, our receivers, and our tight end, all of those position groups are functioning and firing at an elite level. You know, in week one against the Ravens, we saw our passing game absolutely take over in the fourth quarter. Josh Allen had 251 passing yards in the fourth quarter alone. But then week two, the script was flipped. And when we were going against the Jets, James Cook just took the ball and went insane. He went Super Saiyan, and Josh Allen didn't have to. But the common result between both games was winning. The common result was that we had a dominant offensive performance. And so this video isn't specifically going to be about our offense against the Ravens or our offense against the Jets. This video specifically is going to be how the Buffalo Bills have an offense that was built to win against any team in any situation, regardless of weather, regardless if it's turf, regardless if it's grass, regardless if the other team is a really good secondary or a really good front seven. This offense is so balanced and so elite that it's unpredictable, and teams are going to absolutely have nightmares going into Sunday matchups against this Buffalo Bills squad. They are uniquely the real deal, and there is not an offense in the NFL that is anything even close to it. But my name's Colin. This is Crack the Table. We are all Bills, no breaks. Every single day, I'm breaking down Buffalo Bills content, and my hope in this channel is just to bring you, as the Buffalo Bills fan, a level of value, perspective, and even joy along the way. But let's get right into it. I want to go back and do a little bit of recap from that Sunday night game, and I really want to set the stage. And so you, as just a listener hearing me talk a second, just listen to what we did week one, and then I want to talk briefly about week two, and then I want to bring those together and even project forward to what we might be doing in week three here against the Dolphins tomorrow night, against the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. So Sunday night, week one against the Baltimore Ravens, we were kind of bottled up on offense for a bit there, but in the fourth quarter, Josh Allen exploded for the 251 yards passing. In 4 minutes, we got 15 points. You know, but what was crazy is we had 251 passing yards. Josh Allen had 251 passing yards in the fourth quarter alone. That's an insane amount of yards. Again, think about 1,000 passing yards. It's very rare that we ever hear of a quarterback get 500 passing yards in a single game, but Josh Allen had 251 in a quarter, right? The most of his career, right? And the Bills scored on 4 straight drives. Keon Coleman hauled in a touchdown, and the veteran kicker, Matthew Prater, sealed it with a great kick to end the game, right? But it wasn't just Allen playing as a Superman. It was how Joe Brady already, from an offensive perspective or schematic perspective, was already shifting the wide receiver snap counts around, right? The Bills condensed their wide receiver rotation. They spread the field. And you know what? They basically said to Baltimore, if you want a track fight, then let's get in the track and let's run, right? And again, hold that image in your mind, though, because the wide receiver heavy usage that we saw in week one actually completely gets flipped in week two. Again, 1 week later, the Buffalo Bills actually lined up in a lot of the same formations, but did something completely different based off what was presented to them by the Jets on defense. In week two, the New York Jets with Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, again, supposedly one of the strongest defenses coming into this year, supposedly with a defensive-minded head coach in Aaron Glenn. We were like, okay, is this team going to hold us back? What's going to happen? But we just frankly ran the ball down the New York Jets' throat, the New Jersey Jets' throat, right? 224 rushing yards, and it wasn't even hard. I mean, we had Ray Davis in there running carries at the end of the game. Like, James Cook could have played the whole thing, but it didn't matter if it was Josh Allen, didn't matter if it was Elijah Moore, didn't matter if it was Ty Johnson, didn't matter if it was Ray Davis or James Cook. All 5 of them ran the ball efficiently, consistently against the Jets, and it was game over by the third quarter, right? You know, even a guy like this, Elijah Moore, running for his touchdown, revenge game angle, we love to see it. But here's the key. Buffalo lined up offensively. Joe Brady had the Buffalo Bills offense lined up basically the same exact personnel as he did week 1 against the Ravens, against the Jets in week 2. But instead of forcing passes, they layered in motions. They had gadget plays and even created some unique blocking schemes to get the run game open in ways that we didn't do it against week 1, right? The Jets loaded the box against us and tried to stop the run. But you know what? Josh Allen occasionally uses his arms, occasionally uses his legs, but then the Bills, because of all of that, just punish them with the run game. So again, let's zoom out. Week 1 was very, very pass heavy. Yeah, James Cook had a couple good plays here and there on the ground, but Allen dropped nearly 400 yards. In week 2, it was run heavy. And even running backs by committee throughout the game just gashed the Jets for 224 total yards. 2 games, 2 completely different blueprints, both wins. And that's the proof, I think. That's the angle that I want to look at in this video today, is the fact that it doesn't matter if it's a good run defense or a good secondary. The Buffalo Bills will, from a personnel perspective and a schematic perspective, show one thing, do another, be unpredictable, and get yards and get touchdowns when it really matters. So what's the actual game plan for the Buffalo Bills? It's actually not one scheme. It's not Josh Allen going into the week every single week saying, all right, I've got to run for 80 yards and I've got to get a rushing touchdown and I've got to pass for 400 yards. It's actually saying that it doesn't matter what team we play against, we are going to score points because we're going to leverage the weaknesses of the defense for our own advantage. You know, when we play against a team like this week, when we play against a team like the Dolphins this week and their secondary, outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick, there's really nobody in their secondary right now that scares me, right? The matchup screams this weekend heavy pass game, right? Buffalo can lean into its receivers and Coleman and Shakir and Palmer and even in Dalton Kincaid in the seam, and even oftentimes, as we saw week 1, Jackson Hawes in the seam as well. But when defenses try to take that away, we're just going to expand and go to maybe 12 personnel or a jumbo set, and we're going to expand those. We're going to have the vertical option in Keon Coleman, the vertical option in Josh Palmer yet, but we're going to run the ball down the throats of the other team, and it's not going to matter what they do because we have versatility at every position. We have an above average player at every single position on offense that gives us an advantage against any defense that the NFL is going to throw at us. You know, in 2 weeks, we've scored 71 points. That's 35.5 points a game, about 240 passing and about 140 rushing yards per game. You know, no wide receiver on our team has played more than 71% of total snaps. Every player is in the mix. The 5 or 6 different receivers any given week that we have on our roster are mixed perfectly to scheme up against whatever defense that we're going to be playing and to morph into whatever we need to become so that we can take advantage of weaknesses on the defense. And under Joe Brady, the Buffalo Bills have 95 total touchdowns and just 18 turnovers. The ball is not getting forced right now into positions it doesn't need to be. And that's why I keep thinking, and that's why I keep saying this Buffalo Bills offense is a dual threat and they are the real deal. Again, so let's apply this to Thursday night against the Dolphins. Miami is 2-0. They've allowed 150 plus rushing yards versus the Colts and 122 against the Patriots. In other words, their running game, their run stopping is not very strong. Opponents are converting over 50% of third downs on them. Their secondary is banged up. And as I already mentioned, Minkah Fitzpatrick is pretty much the only guy I'm worried about on that defense. And even then, he's getting older. He's still a great player, but that defense is begging to get punished by our offense. The expectation on my end is that we're going to run the ball a lot. Cook, probably 60 to 65% of the snaps, absolutely dominant. He might get pulled later in the game like he did this last week, but Davis, again, probably 30% of the snaps, and Johnson catching some third down balls out of the backfield. But they're going to control tempo. They're going to chew the clock and keep Miami's speed off the field. They're probably going to take guys like Jalen Waddle and even Tyreek Hill and keep them off the field and just keep our offense chugging along for first down after first down and eating the clock. Again, once the Dolphins brings down their safeties and tries to stack the box and end our run game, we're just going to go vertical and we're going to take advantage of the weak secondary. Again, that's where a guy like Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Josh Palmer, and Khalil Shakir are going to eat. The Miami Dolphins are surrendering 126 passer rating and about 300 yards in the air per game this year. Play actions to Coleman, seam routes to Kincaid, maybe more gadget plays to Moore. We'll see. This is going to be a fun game, and it's going to be a nightmare for the defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins. And on a short week, the balance is going to be even more appropriate and helpful for our team so that Josh Allen doesn't have to go there without a level of excellence with a game plan or even knowing some of these guys that he's playing against. But he can go out there. Joe Brady's not going to have Josh Allen, drop back 46 times. We're going to play to our greatest strengths. We're going to be efficient. We're going to be opportunistic. We're going to take opportunities. We're going to create leverage. We're going to be unpredictable in different ways, and we're going to control the game. Again, my prediction is that we win 38-21 or 38 to 20 or something like that, somewhere around there, around 200 rushing yards, around 250 passing yards, and maybe 3 to 4 touchdowns. And we'll see. I think it's going to be a really balanced, efficient, and really unstoppable offense. But if we put it all together, we can see week 1, we had a game plan that absolutely necessitated the pass game. Week 2, the script was flipped again, and we said, you know what, we're just going to run the ball. Josh Allen, you don't even need a touchdown in the air, right? And in week 3, I think we're going to see a mixture of both, and it's going to be an onslaught on national television, Amazon Prime. It's going to be an incredible game on Thursday night. We might turn it off because we score so many points. I don't know, but 3 different games, 3 different game plans, 1 result. The Buffalo Bills are going to win Thursday night against the Miami Dolphins, and that's again why I think the Buffalo Bills are the real deal. But again, hey, my name's Colm. This is Crack the Table. We are all Bills, no breaks, every single day, dropping new Bills breakdowns. If you like content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, drop me a comment. What do you think the score prediction is, or how many points do you think the Buffalo Bills are going to win by on Thursday night against the Miami Dolphins? Let me know in the comments. But again, the truth is, the Buffalo Bills can beat you any way they want on offense, and that's what makes them so dangerous in the NFL. Go Bills. Peace out.